What's going on, guys? Drunk Italian here. We are back for episode 8 of Tips and Tricks. In this episode, I'm going to show you guys how to win fights. So to win a fight, you got to know how to start one. So on Xbox, you're going to press Y, and on PS4, you're going to press triangle. That's just going to bring up a little text box to start and initiate the fight. If your opponent started the fight, then you're going to want to press triangle to accept the fight. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the individual mechanics of fighting. For example, computers fight a lot differently than humans do. So I'm going to give you the tools to fight in this video, and then you're going to have to combine them together to figure out a way that works best for you. So now I'm going to start off by showing you guys how to throw punches. So there are basically two types of punches. There's the straight punch, which basically you're just throwing it right at his head, which will involve you flicking the right sticks up. This is a basic punch where you just throw it horizontally at the guy's face. Now there's also the uppercut, where you flick the right sticks down. Here you'll throw an uppercut to your opponent's chin and knock him out cold. Now I'm going to talk about pushing and pulling. This is very important in getting your opponent off balance. So to do a standard push, you're going to want to flick the left stick up. This will push your opponent away from you momentarily. Next is the pull. This will drag your opponent in the opposite direction and get him a little bit off balance. Now we're going to talk about dodging, which is, in my opinion, the most essential part of fighting. You can win fights by simply dodging and not even throwing a punch. So if you master this, you're going to have a lot of success during fights. So we're going to start off with just a standard dodge. All you're going to need to do is just press R2 or right trigger. Of course, you'll have to time this correctly in order to pull it off. Now we're going to move on to crouching or shielding. All you have to do is just press and hold the right trigger or R2. In this example, I want you guys to pay attention to the health bars of both players. As Shane Doan is crouched, you can see that his health will actually be going up, while as Lucic is continually throwing punches, his health will actually go down. This is a mechanic in the game that I feel a lot of people aren't aware of, and which I've seen on a regular basis cause people to lose fights. So how do you defend somebody who's just crouching the entire time? So I figured out a way where if you alternate between pushing and punching one after the other in succession, you will not lose any health, but your opponent will start to lose health. You can see it happen by watching both players' health bars in this situation. As Pearson starts to push and punch, Stone's health starts to go down, whereas Pearson's health does not change at all. If you continue this long enough, you'll tire out your opponent and you'll be able to finish him off with a quick punch while he's crouching. So now that we've covered the basics of fighting, it's time to put some of these components together. Advanced dodges incorporate both the use of the trigger as well as the left stick. I'm not going to go through all of the combinations, you can figure out most of them yourselves. I'm just going to show you out some of the most popular combinations that I use. So here we're going to start off with the dodge left. So this is when you successfully dodge an opponent's punch and then you flick the left stick to the left. This will cause an animation where you try to pull your opponent over your arms and try to get him off balance. The next one is the dodge down. This is a longer animation, but it seems to take more of the opponent's health away from them. If this move is pulled off correctly, you will actually completely jersey your opponent, as we'll talk about soon. The last advanced dodge I'm going to talk about is the dodge right, where basically you dodge opponent's uppercut and then spin him around to try and get him off balance. It's important to note that with these advanced dodges, if you perform them correctly and time it perfectly, you'll actually be able to form a takedown and win the fight even if your opponent has a full bar of health. So now we're going to talk about one of the hardest moves to pull off in the game, the jersey. So as you can see here, I've got my opponent in a very vulnerable position. Once you pull this off, the only way your opponent can get out of it is by successfully timing a dodge. In this situation, I wouldn't recommend just going to town on him, as this will make it a lot easier for opponent to dodge one of your punches. You want to mix up the timing so that you can hold your opponent in this position for as long as possible. So the most important aspect of fighting is the fact that it regenerates your team's stamina all 4 lines if you win the fight. Also, the game only lets you fight 3 times per game, so fighting is actually a great alternative to taking a timeout. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like or a comment down below if you did. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.